Today we're jumping into Ashes of the Damned in directed mode. But with how difficult and complex some of these quest steps are, like the various Cypher steps, how is directed going to handle this? Will it be easy enough for the everyday player to understand? Well, after completing it myself, I can honestly say I am pleasantly surprised. Let's show you what I mean. Boy, does it feel good to be back in Ashes of the Damned. This will be my very first directed mode experience, and I want to test out a few things. First of all, can we turn off these objective indicators, these mission trackers, if we... Oh wow, we can. Okay, so that might actually make my footage when I'm testing augments a little bit better. And we do have the Wonder Fizz machine automatically spawned in, which is nice. I will leave the mission tracker on just because every year, well, every map that comes out, I love trying to follow the directions specifically, just to see how accurate this is going to be to a brand new player, if it's fair or not. If you don't know directed mode, all of these side quests are disabled, except for the Chompy here, which is really nice. I wonder if the fumigator is turned off or not. So can we pick this up? We can. Can we fertilize this? We can. Okay, well that's good to know. If you're on directed mode, you can go ahead and do this fertilization Easter egg sort of thing. But for the most part, we sort of know exactly how this is gonna go. We're gonna go get Ted's head, pick it up, go over to Tessie and install Ted's head on Tessie. But I wonder if it's gonna tell us where to go. Does it always tell you where to go? Or does it give you the option? Yeah, it gives you the option. I will go over here. Do I go over here? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go over this direction first. Pro tip, running over those green barnacles will give you points in salvage if you didn't know. I know that might sound like old news to some of us, but Black Ops 7 is still relatively early in its life cycle, so that might be a good tip for people, especially if they're looking at a directed mode video. So now we're gonna turn on power like normal. I imagine this is gonna be fine until we get the Pack-a-Punch, but I have heard a lot of things about this quest, saying that it does things in a bad order, saying that it's not as clear as it could be. So I'm really curious to see just how straightforward it is, because this is a very complicated Easter egg, at least compared to some of the Black Ops 6 ones. Again, pro tip if you didn't know, meleeing zombies with headshots, getting critical kills with your melee will get you more points. So I always like to do that, at least in standard here. And I do like buying melee macchiato because that makes your melee stronger, and I have an augment on where I get even more points for headshots. And I have espresso on, so it goes even faster. Unfortunately, a downside of playing in directed mode is all of these side quests are disabled. So this trophy side quest, yet we are not able to get the free combat axe from it. So I wonder, well, I guess no, they should have the free combat axe in exit 115 for you to pick up, so that'll be good. But I have heard the location for the keys for the Wunderwaffe DG2 is actually different here, which I think is, I have some thoughts. We'll get to it later. Right now, let's head on up the zip line. We've played Ashes before. Clear these infestations, turn on power, and see where they, well, I guess we gotta go to do Pack-a-Punch, right, huh? Now, what are you gonna have us do first? We should just be collecting all of the different items, right? Or maybe turning on power over there. Yep, okay, cool. I actually really like that. Telling you to turn on the alternate power is a good kind of first step to go. And we've still got the free Molotov there. I'll try to avoid picking that up just in case. Welcome to farm. Let's do our thing over here. Open up the door. Never go in the front door. You always wall jump in, turn on the power, and now you are gonna look for Klaus in the sheriff's office. Okay, that's a weird first step. What would looking for Klaus do to our game? But you know what? Why not? We'll go do it. Since we're stuck and bound to round 7 until we do so. We are missing the first Ravager round. We do have enough points for a trap, so we're not going to be getting that piece first. That's okay though. I really don't mind them making these things inefficient so long as they sort of make sense to the player. It really should be as straightforward as possible, and maybe us going in here, yeah, okay, is kind of them saying, hey, here is why you're gonna do the next step. So I guess I can kind of get behind that. Ooh, I do see a combat axe. Do I pick it up though? I think I leave it on the ground. I don't know if I'll regret that later, but I want to see what they do when you don't load in with the things that you need. Now, round 7 going to Uber Klaus is pretty early on, but in terms of the progress of this Easter egg, I completely understand why. It feels as though we might be getting the Wonder Weapon first, and then using the Wonder Weapon to unlock our code, and maybe then they're gonna ask us to pick up the things that are specifically on our code. That's been a suggestion that a lot of you guys told me as I was teaching you and showing you guys how to do this quest. So that's not that bad of an idea. We are on round 7, so we can flip this over. I just want to go get Jug. I would recommend, if you are following along too, to get Jug yourself and at least have a pack punch 1 gun. Now, I know I do have stun grenades, but there is one free stun grenade here and one at spawn that I will show you. So even if they don't tell you they're there, it's good that they still have them there. And yes, I did just completely forget to buy Jug. That's okay. All right, let's head back to spawn. We're gonna locate an Uber Klaus. I kind of want to drive away and see. Okay, so naturally it's gonna bring you to here. If you're going this way, it's gonna be like, okay, there you go. Now I wonder if he has less health in directed mode, because he was pretty dangerous in the standard gameplay. We've just got a pack-a-punch 1. I guess I really should have increased the rarity of this gun too. Let's get those shoulder pads off, please. Let's throw a little stun grenade. Okay, didn't stun him. That's okay. It was too far away. How about this over here? Too far away again. Stun down. Nope. Okay. Very bullet spongy, I will say. Although that seems to be exactly how they want to balance zombies this time around. They are going full on in the bullet sponge territory. Oh man, we're gonna have to go to a crafting table or an arsenal station. That's just so weak. It's so weak. Let's head back over to Blackwater Lake, and we should be able to get a blue rarity gun. Nice. We don't have any salvage for armor plates, which is not great. Should have thought of that first, but maybe this will help. There we go. Oh, that's much better. That is much, much better. Wow. That is a night and day difference. That was just a donut mistake. There we go. There we go. Okay, less bullet spongy, I guess. Still very dangerous though, which is perfectly fine. Look at that. Okay, blue pack 1 seems to be the ideal sweet spot. Even if it's green, I'm sure it's a lot better too. But then it's gonna tell us to pick up the stabilizer chip, which it should, and then we need to install the stabilizer chip. Pretty straightforward so far, nothing too crazy. You just gotta be ready for that Uber Klaus fight. So let's go ahead and input that, and that's gonna tell us to quickly toss 2 stun grenades at Klaus to reboot. Very nice. I would like to see objective indicators at the 2 stun grenades if they don't have them, because it might feel like they are soft locked or they have to like gain salvage in order to get these things. But luckily you're watching this video and I have 1 stun grenade there. And if we jump back to spawn, if we go inside of the quick revive room, we should have another free stun grenade. Not an issue at all. I really like how specific this step is. This is very nice. So we're gonna go 1 and 2. Very nice. And he's up and ready to go. And now what would you like us to do? Wait for Klaus to reboot, of course. I wonder if we're gonna go do the lockdown now. I mean, logic would dictate that we do, right? What are we doing, buddy? What are we doing? Enter Reba's Diner. Okay, so we unlocked Klaus and we're not doing the Wonder Weapon step next. That is pretty unintuitive. I've also noticed that not every, oh my goodness, Klaus, you're taking my kills, buddy. Oh no. With the amount of steps that this Easter egg is gonna take, I imagine we're not gonna be able to have every single step increase the round cap, if that makes sense. Like, we've been on round 7 for a while, so this is just naturally gonna progress the rounds a little bit more slowly than we are used to back in Black Ops 6, which I think is totally fine. I mean, that makes sense. If it were 1 step per round, then we'd hit round 15 and we'd hit that cap very, okay, there is the combat axe, very nice. Yeah, if it was 1 step per round, we'd hit round 15 in like no time. Oh, there it is, there it is, there's the cook. The cook has spawned in. Eliminate the cook, we will do so. And pick up the freezer key, unlock the freezer and take the carcass. And I imagine we're gonna be heading on back to Ashwood. Yes, indeed we are. So far, this is not terrible, but unlocking Klaus first and then doing this sort of thing is a little odd. But again, I'm all for the straightforwardness if they can. Doesn't need to be super efficient, so long as it makes sense. Okay, never mind. We need to investigate the ether barrel self-storage, which is literally what we should have done the last step. Why didn't we do that step first? I'm actually going to use Tessie so we can get some more points and salvage a little bit faster. That definitely seems like a missed opportunity. Round cap has increased to 10. We will park Tessie here as well since we know we're going to need that. Let's investigate. Hey. Oh yeah, now we need to summon Klaus. Gee, if only Klaus were just here. Now we have to wait for the cooldown, which is a whole minute. All right, we can point grind while we do that. That's okay. In fact, because we're capped at an earlier round, having melee macchiato with the flatline and the augment that gets you more points, that might just be a way to really increase your point gain. All right, Klaus is activatable now. Command Klaus to move to the security terminal. All right, that's pretty straightforward. Let's go, Klaus. Let's head on down. Use the terminal to activate the security scan. Okay. Does this change how it says anything? Verify you are human. Okay, that's actually not bad. I think that's pretty straightforward. Honestly, Klaus will fortunately protect us, and there we go. Grab the ether barrel from the secure storage and fill the ether barrel at the power pumps, and they give us the option of where to go. That's really nice. I will go ahead and double pack a punch my guns, and I'm gonna go the long way because I want more of those barnacles here, these green plants, to give us some more essence and salvage. Now, if you don't know, if you're watching this for your first time, you cannot sprint with this ether barrel, and if you try to slide or crouch, you will drop it, so just be careful of that. But I would recommend doing this one first and then going in a circle and then ending at the farm area. This is part of the wonder weapon quest, which Klaus is a part of, so I'm very curious why we got Klaus and then stopped doing the wonder weapon quest, upgraded Tessie, and then went back to the wonder weapon quest. Also, if you just dove like I did right there or rolled, then you will automatically drop that ether barrel, so just be careful when you combat roll that you pick up your ether barrel. That's definitely cost me a time or two. So now we're at Blackwater Lake. We can do this again. You don't need to do anything while it's in there. You just need to wait for it to be done, and it will spawn in more purple-eyed zombies. Once that's done here, we could pick this up, head back to Tessie, make our way through spawn, get some more salvage and essence, and finish up at farm. Dang it, dude. This is such a beautiful map, man, with the little oh, it's so good. Black Ops 7, if you guys haven't got Black Ops 7 yet, you guys are missing out. But this is going to be done. We are on a timer. I guess I really should have said that out loud, but you can kind of see the thing in the top left corner. We are on a timer for this, so we will come on down. We need to deliver the ether barrel to the Vault of Flesh. Love that they call it that. That is what it is called in the intel as well. So here you go, Vault of Flesh. Here's the ether barrel, at least the essence, and now we need to input these symbols scrawled on the rooftops. Okay, that's actually really straightforward. That is succinct. That was one of those that I was curious about how they're gonna articulate it, and they even marked it. That's really good. So if you're playing solo, I always like to go to Janus Towers. We can see we've got the arrow, we've got the circle with the line, and then we've got the 6. So with those symbols, there will be one symbol per side of the Vault of Flesh here. We're flipping through by interact. That's one symbol. That's another symbol. The other one is that right there. And then we can input it. And then I believe, yes, offer yourself as a worthy host. That is a really cool way of saying that. This is why I love playing directed mode at least once. Recall the necrofluid to feed the creature. Okay, that's, again, so darn cool, because that's just giving the best things about zombies are the way it handles the gameplay as well as the narrative, and this actually increases that narrative. It makes it better. That was awesome. That was really, really good. Yes, okay, they are making us do the Wisp T step first. All right, I see the vision, Treyarch. I see what you're doing. A little confused on why you had us do Klaus first. If anything, let's get the Tessie upgraded first and then go back to Klaus, but you know what? It is what it is. I wonder if the 3 items that you need to get are the same every game. That would be interesting. Our round cap is now 12, but I think I am going to get Wisp T and then fly automatically back to Ashwood, right? Eliminate zombies to summon a wisp. Here we go. Lead the wisp to the Mirror of the Forgotten. I love it. I love it. This is good. Let's go over here. Oh my goodness, you're holding the zombie. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay, never mind. Even if it held the zombie, it worked. Okay, shoot the mirror with the necrofluid gauntlet. to shatter the glass. Pick up the Powder of the Forgotten, and I think I know what we're gonna do now. Yes, indeed. Investigate Yuri's lab in the Cosmodrome. Okay, all right. This actually I don't hate. I really don't mind it. Add Powder of the Forgotten into the flask. Okay, I know this could be controversial, but I think if somebody's first time doing an Easter egg is this, I think this is a good way of doing it. I really do. Observe the ingredients needed. Oh, okay, so it's gonna walk us through all of the ingredients we need, I bet. So now it's gonna tell us to go back and pick up the jar of spores, easily done, which we can pick up right here, and that's gonna tell us to spread the spores on the carcass of cultivation. What? That's so cool. Here we go. Now I wonder if it'll have us multitask. Okay, wait several rounds for the widow's lantern to grow. So literally doing one thing at a time. I know that's like not great for us in terms of efficiency, but in terms of clarity and focus, I completely understand that, especially because that gives us some time to point farm. Just the base flatline with melee macchiato is still one-shotting to the head for normal zombies, and with the armored zombies it's a two-shot, which is really nice. And I guess if we never need the combat axe for the foot, in theory, then it wouldn't show you how to do that. But as we saw, it does have the combat axe as well as the Molotov in their places, as well as the stun grenades as we saw. So long as you know that, that's good. Like I said, I'd prefer if they had indicators to kind of show you that they're there, but at least the tools are there, because there is that concern that, you know, especially early days here, as we're already getting through prestige or people are working through the prestige, that combat axe is like level 54 of an unlock. So that would be pretty bad if you had to wait for RNG to have a combat axe in this Easter egg. And there it is. Pick up the Widow's Lantern. What is next? Destroy an overgrown horde husk using old Tessie's beam attack. I love how they put them all across the map. Look at that. That is just bravo. Except I forgot old Tessie across the map. That's okay. So let's take old Tessie. Looks like we're going down this one. Let's boost off of here. Nice. And let's try and sweep around and use our abomination beam. And then there's that. We could pick that up right there. There's actually a pack-a-punch crystal that I would love to pick up. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, I need to pick up that thing too. Did I pick it up? I think I picked it up. Okay, there we go. Back into here. I should have pack-a-punched my wonder weapon. That's okay. Throw a combat axe to chop off the zombie's foot. Okay. Again, just like how they showed us all the different options for the horde husk chunk, it'd be nice to highlight the combat axe. But then what if somebody takes the combat axe before the step? Yeah, I get it. It's not as straightforward as I would like to think. But if you're watching this, here you go. There is the combat axe that you should absolutely pick up if you need to do this step. The one thing that I will say, I think doing it like this will sort of create a misinterpretation of how tedious this Easter egg actually is, because in reality, when you're doing these things ahead of time and you're on top of these things, it flows really well. But I could see somebody doing this and saying, oh my goodness, this Easter egg is just running across the map all the time. So it's a little bit of, oh my goodness, how did you miss that, Donuts? It's a little bit of a trade-off there. Can we do it this way? Yes, indeed we can. Very good. There's the foot down. Toss a Molotov onto the foot to burn the flesh away. Okay, again, instead of using the crafting table or waiting for a zombie to drop it, which you can absolutely do, they do have a free Molotov back here in Ashwood, right there. And then we can jump back to farm and toss a Molotov on the foot and pick up the bones. Now that we have all three of those done, I know we're gonna do the lockdown next, so I want a couple of things. First thing, I want to pack-a-punch this wonder weapon, but I also want another perk or two. Let's see, I'm thinking I want speed cola, double tap, and I think that might be it. I might go vulture aid just for that smell of death. But if you didn't know, the wonder weapon has a special pack-a-punch ability after you pack-a-punch it. Well, at least it gains a special pack-a-punch ability, so we can go ahead and pack-a-punch this, and just meleeing but like normal will give you an overheal, which is really important. Really good for healing back up. I'm also going to get tier 2 armor before we do this. And I am curious, it says brew the second sight serum according to the Cypher. First of all, sick name for that, second sight serum, but they are also assuming that you know that Pigpen cipher, which I know it's a fairly common cipher, probably one of the most common ones out there, but a cipher is still a cipher. Not everybody knows it. So I wonder if you can just do it in, oh no, it's going to show you the order. Okay, so we're going to do that one. Does it update? It might actually do it for you. It might actually do it for you. Yes, indeed. Okay, so it updates. Add the shell next. Nice. And believe it or not, I believe that is in the same order that it made you collect the items. That is genuinely so good. That is so good. Add blood to the flask. I know a lot of people were upset about that part. I do have a cheat sheet, which I will show you. Here's my cheat sheet for if you want to do it in the standard mode for what all of the symbols and the items mean. But that is so cool that directed mode actually does it for you and tells you which ones to do first. Very nice. We're going to add the blood in. You got to be careful. This is going to make us low health, as you can see right there. And we're going to need to survive this lockdown. I do have Ether Shroud, but what we can do is we can obviously shoot the zombies. Is going to be probably a lot easier. But then if we hold our aim down sights button, it'll make these kind of explode, and that does a really big area of effect damage. And if you're right over them, it kind of protects you. You can see it's kind of healing us a little bit, which I think is really nice. On co-op, this thing is crazy, but use your decoys, monkey bombs, everything in here. On directed mode though, this has been really chill, especially because just pack punch one will be able to one-shot those enemies. That was really easy. That's really good. But now that we have the second sight, it's time for the infamous observe the world changes in Ashwood. What? That's a very strange way of putting it. I thought we were going to go straight for the keys. What do we got to do now? So we have to observe the changes, first of which being up here maybe. What is this? Is this not been on fire? Uh-oh. Is it just looking at that? Okay, investigate the seal of sorrow. Yes, I'm investigating. Hello, I have investigated. Okay, use the Necrofluid Gauntlet to retrieve the Terrapin key. I would recommend buying plates for this because it's not going to be easy. At least I don't think it's going to be easy. Let's use Tessie going out this direction. This looks like it's going to be the green one, except it appears as though the rumors are true. This key is usually in the fog. And this brings up a very interesting question of what the purpose of directed mode is. So this key, this green key, wow, it's just right here. Normally you would have to go into the fog for all of this, but instead all you have to do is get a needle behind the key and then pull this towards you, and then you can have this key. Now this key, this green key, is going to make you incredibly slow. I'm going as fast as I can here. So I would recommend using Tessie to drive back to where we're supposed to go. And I will give my official shout out to my guide and walkthrough, I guess, of this Easter egg, because I show you all of the different locations they can be in and some strategies to make this a little bit easier. But I know a lot of people are pretty upset that this key or these keys are not in the fog. And I kind of agree, but I kind of also see why they're not. If this mode is just to get people to get more Easter egg completions and get people's foot in the door for all of these Easter eggs, it kind of makes sense. And you know what? I would still recommend bringing Tessie out because you can't use jump pads, so Tessie's going to be the fastest way to do this, even though they're not in the fog. It doesn't upset me, but I do genuinely wonder if this is going to confuse people, saying, hey, here are the keys in directed, and then, oh great, I'm going to do it in standard. That's honestly not that bad. This is actually a pretty cool place to put it. Right in there. Thank you. This yellow key will make it so that it pulls your knife out, and I don't think you can armor plate. Not too big of a deal, but something to keep in mind. This could unintentionally cause more confusion for the Easter egg steps for players who go straight from directed to standard without looking up any other outside guide, which obviously directed mode is supposed to be that. And I wonder if there's a way of doing this or accomplishing this purpose, making it a little bit easier on players without changing the key locations altogether, like making the fog zombies not spawn in during this step, or making them not super sprint during this step, or reducing their damage scaling during this step or something. I don't know. Obviously, it doesn't affect me all that much. I know how to do it in standard. I know all the locations, but I'm curious what you guys think. And are you watching this video because you haven't done this Easter egg yet and you're confused? And now for this red key is going to get us low on health, and I think it will turn off our health regeneration. So let's jump up here. This is actually not a bad location for it. This is actually pretty sneaky. I wouldn't mind mind if these were just the locations in the normal map. So you can see, boom, it's going to take us low on health, and then we'll just take old Tessie back to spawn, or back to Ashwood. Now, I wonder if there are 3 different locations inside of the map, or if those are just the locations of the keys in directed mode. Either way, this is a pretty daunting Easter egg, so anything to get players a little bit more on board with it and to experience the fun of this Easter egg, I can understand why they made those changes. And so after you get that cutscene, you're going to be able to pick up the DG2 turret barrel. Nice! I love that cutscene. I'm spoiler free this time around, but the characterization in this game is phenomenal. I've been listening to the quotes, especially on Astra Malorum, and my goodness, the story, the characters, their personalities are so good. But now that we've upgraded old Tessie, we are going to use the turret to shock the clock tower. And which one are you going to make us do? Okay, shoot a charged clock tower face with the necrofluid gauntlet and reload to retrieve time. To retrieve time? That's so sick. Okay, now what? Oh, we're doing farm first? Observe the time on the clock in the farmhouse. This is so good. This is why I love directed mode. Because like, we've been making Easter egg guides for years, but this is a mode straight from the developers where they are teaching you using their own language and in lore language to make this just elevated a little bit better. Observe the time. Yep. Okay, boom. There's the time. Stand on the scratch mark that matches the time on the clock. So that's 9. This is 3 right there, 3. And this would be 12 right there. So there it is. Oh, it even marks it for you. That's so good. Oh, that's so good. Wait for the skeleton's head to rotate into position. We're gonna wait and then shoot the head with the charged necrofluid. That's so good. Locate each family member's ritual item, easy enough, and it marks it, for you, or at least, oh, no, it doesn't. It just marks the room where it's at. I wonder if I like leave and go away, does it actually mark the actual item? Okay, that's a strange decision. So I know where these are at. The first one is a tasty face right there near stamina. Over here inside of the barn, there is a mask in this corner, just right there. If we go down underground, inside or near the bathtub is another item. There you go, Ma's chalice. And then, oh my goodness, okay, it marks that bag. Interesting. So I wonder if you do wait long enough, if it does mark it for you. And our round cap is now 15. We're on the final steps of this, so that makes sense. We're going to place each ritual item on the ground. I do want to get to the end of this round though, and I'm gonna try it with just a regular gun because we've got it so well ranked up. Boom, there it is. Interact to start with the ritual. It does appear to be the final ritual or the final artifact that you put down is the start button. So let's give it a shot. Let's interact with that. Now we need to defend the ritual items. Frenzied Guard is fantastic for this. We will absolutely switch if we need to. I am gonna try using just regular weapons because we are in directed mode. We might have enough time for that. In between rounds is huge. If you do this in the beginning of a round, it's really, really tough. In fact, even if you do it towards the end of the round, that might even be better. It looks like we're doing it. Oh boy, 30 seconds though. 30 seconds, that's gonna be tough. Oh boy, I don't know. This is a lot of zombies. We've got 20 seconds left. Monkey bombs are huge for this. Monkey bombs. Frenzied Guard is big. Oh, 15 seconds. I don't know if we can. That might be too much. Necrofluid Gauntlet with the little explosions that it does might be good. Explosion there, please. There we go. 3, 2. Oh, objective complete. Nice. That was really close. That was a poor demonstration using monkey bombs, frenzied guard, all these other things. That is a way better way of doing it than what I just did. And then we're going to go back to the clock tower again. Very nice. I am releasing a lore video about Ashes of the Damned because man, it's so good. And I was a little confused of exactly what we were doing on the step in terms of like the lore, the phrasing. What does it say? Like, to reload to retrieve time. I think that's fantastic. And so now it is going to have us do the exit 115. I noticed that there is lightning there. It wasn't there last round, but it is there this round. So I wonder if it just waits for it to naturally happen. We're already at round 15. So I'm curious if we fail this, if it's going to tell us how to get lightning back. That would be pretty darn cool. Oh, and we're going to do this little trick here, putting Tessie right up against this. So that way that automatically does it. Actually, no, I won't. No, I won't. I want to do it the right way, not the speedrun way. Let's jump up here, shoot the clock. Now, what are you going to tell us to do? Okay, we're going to go into here and summon Klaus. That's like the longest one. Okay, summon Klaus. Command Klaus to open the trunk of the car. It gives us 2 minutes. Okay, that's not... Well, actually, did it always give us 2 minutes? It might have always given us 2 minutes here. Come on, Klaus. There's that one. Okay, bring the mechanic to the lightning. Man, this step, after reading all of the lore and all of the intel, it's a beautiful step. I love all of this. Next up, okay, we're going to need to use old Tessie to bash the semi-truck. Very nice. So I think you just drive into it. It doesn't need to be anything special. There we go. Bring the trucker to the lightning. See, this is the kind of thing that I don't mind directed mode being a little bit easier. Like, they're giving you way more time, unless this is an update and like this is how it is normally. But melee the register to open the drawer. Okay, I don't mind them making the window of failure a little bit wider, or window of success a little bit wider, because at least you kind of know exactly what to do. The different key locations is something I don't think they've ever done before in a directed mode. They made you do some things, like they made you upgrade the Gorg effects in Reckoning, but that was kind of just for fun sort of thing, I guess. But hey, that was really easy, and that was a lot of good time. And then we're back there. We could do it this round again, maybe? No, it flipped the round automatically, it sounds like. Maybe we're just at the end of the round naturally. That's cool. That's cool. So far, the pacing of this has been really good. It felt a little slow in the beginning, just because I'm so used to doing so many things. But honestly, this is not bad at all. So we're gonna shoot that again. We're gonna retrieve time. I love that phrasing. And then we've got to shoot the parabolic antenna dish with the necrofluid. I like how it uses the official term, shoot this with the necrofluid, and then all of our guides are like, once you turn purple, shoot this. And then it gives you a different clock to shoot at to kind of symbolize that each clock face has a different charge to it. I really like that. It's subtle, but if you're paying attention to exactly what they're saying and exactly what they're doing, it's really straightforward. Oh, don't miss donuts, please. Thank you. Now this one I'm worried about. Decipher the launch code by using the symbols on the monitors. Okay, so we're gonna look at that. Okay, we're using the symbols on the monitors. Does that show us what the code is? Or are you guys gonna need my cheat sheet? I'm staring at it. There's nothing in it. Okay, maybe if we go away. Oh my goodness, look at that. It tells you which ones to shoot. Oh my goodness, Treyarch, that is so freaking good. This is so much better than what I was expecting. I heard people trashing on this because it didn't show you that. That's really good. Maybe it didn't wait long enough, but wow, bravo. Now, obviously you still need the skill in order to shoot it, but you just need to shoot the red thing right there. And it looks as though that's really easy. We've got zeros next. 15, 14, 13. 15, 14, 13. Wonderful. I love this Easter egg, man. I love this Easter egg. This is one of the best. And it's really cool. There is an Easter egg in Astra Malorum where you could see the rocket in the space. It's so good. It's so good. Ooh, interact with Dean's memory. Dean, if you don't know, that's the movie director from the Blackwater Lake area. So you don't need to do this when you're purple. That's really cool. All of our guides are wrong. You don't need to have the time. You don't need to be purple when you do this. Wow. Hello, Dean. Activate. And we're back to there. It's a little bit of a strange decision to make that, but whatever. Again, I'm going to see, at the risk of failing this step, oh, we can do this one again. Sweet, because it's the right one. Okay, cool. Shoot the projector in the cabin, right? I'm going to see if it tells us which ones to do first. If this shows us which ones to do first, my goodness, I'm so excited. Okay, so we've got, that looks like the back to me, side, boathouse, and then what, front? Yeah, front. Okay, so back, side, boathouse, front. It shows you what order to do them in. Oh, that's so good. Treyarch, this is goated. This is just on another level. If you haven't done the Ashes of the Damned Easter egg, you have no excuse. Like, wow, this is really, really nice. And then there we go. And then up here, approach Evelyn's memory. Hello, Evelyn. We know the story behind you, at least I do. We're going to summon Klaus, command Klaus to the Helion horn. And he picks up the horn, follow Klaus with the Helion horn, okay. Interact with Klaus to release the memories. Wow, that doesn't even give you a warning that that's the boss fight yet. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna progress a little bit. I want like tier 3 armor. I don't don't think I'll get Pack-a-Punch tier 3. Maybe I will just for funsies. I definitely want more perks. Even though this boss fight, you don't really need a whole bunch of perks or really your weapon at all if you're playing solo, but you definitely need armor, so I will be right back. All right, after some amount of time later, I have triple Pack-a-Punch on this gun, even though I really don't need to. And normally I would go bring a Tessie to where we're gonna go, but I am curious what the game does if we don't have Tessie in the right position, or in the position that the game usually wants you to. As we're entering this boss fight, I will recommend either Casimirs or Monkey Bombs, depending on your persuasion. I have all of the perks, you don't necessarily need them. I love Ether Shroud with 2 charges. I have the Mule Kick augments that gets me an extra armor plate as well as extra pieces of equipment. And then I love Juggernog with either Probiotic or Turtle Shell. Probiotic might be better in this situation, I'll be completely honest. And so it has pinged old Tessie, and so we are naturally just kind of gonna do whatever it wants us to, and we're gonna go to old Tessie. It hasn't updated the thing yet, but it has pinged Tessie, so I'm at Tessie now. Oh, okay. Objective updated. Let's fly into here. Okay, so I wonder if we avoid these ghosts or souls or memories, as they say, if we avoid these, if it'll fail or not. I love this Easter egg step, dude. I love directed mode. These are memories that we're collecting. So I think it is right. I think you do have to start this one here. So I'm glad we figured that out on our runs. It's a shame that if you accidentally collect other memories, that it'll probably fail you. They should probably just automatically spawn Tessie at that area, no matter what, in standard and directed, just to avoid any confusion. But you know what? It is what it is. I think we'll survive. Again, the narrative tying into the gameplay here, we're driving through and collecting all of these memories from all of the different areas that we turned back time to try to save their souls. It's phenomenal. This is easily becoming one of my favorite maps of all time, even after the honeymoon period. And finally, filling out the circle, we're circling back here, collecting these memories. It doesn't say anything about any particular order, but it does mark them in the same order that we've discovered to be the right one. So now, let's talk about this boss fight, because supposedly it's really easy in directed, and I wonder if it's just gonna be like, yeah, like deal damage to Vytherion. So we shall see. Oh boy, ow. Turn, go, run away. I wonder if Tessie's just gonna deal insane amounts of damage to him. All right, there's a weak spot. Let's go. Nice. Ooh, that was a big chunk of damage. That was a really big chunk of damage. Wow. So obviously ramming into Vytherion is the best way to deal damage. I still need to test out this boss. Oh, turn, donuts, turn. I still need to test out if you can get any additional damage from like beaming Vytherion with the beam or anything, but there we go. Can we deal enough damage to get the purple thing out of there? I don't know. Maybe if we take over this and we shoot him a couple times. There we go. Charge old Tessie with etheric energy. Nice. And then we're gonna need to ram into Vytherion. Nice, beautiful. And then we're going to turn, get a good line of sight. There we go. Using this, we can kind of do that. Oh wow, that took 1. Okay, maybe I just ran out of time or something. I don't think so though. Let's go get some armor. Since we're down a very little bit, this thing actually does despawn, so we could do that. And then let's just do a normal thing. Okay, yeah, I wonder if charging or speed boosting into him deals more damage. We could probably test that out, unless I just missed. Let's do a Margot attack here. Boom, there we go. Okay, maybe the beam attack does more. Maybe we're uncovering some more tech that we didn't know about before. These pods or these barnacles do respawn after, I think, a minute, so that is always good to know. Once the missiles are done attacking, that is when you want to attack Vytherion yourself. Once the missiles are here, you want to avoid them and just focus on surviving. And then once the missile barrage is done, Vytherion will return to the middle. We can come here and boost again. Beautiful. Man, I don't want to say anything wrong, but it does really seem like boosting might increase your damage against him. I don't know if that's common knowledge or if that's just directed mode being weird, but here we go. There's this. Once you collect that purple beam, Vytherion will automatically go to the center. I want to see how good. Wow, that's really dangerous. There we go. This is really easy. This is really easy, but you know, it's directed mode. Most directed mode boss fights are really easy. But now we have to do something very important. Vytherion is going to do a charging attack that we need to boost. You have to boost in this phase in order to cancel that beam attack. So even with the missiles in this phase, you want to make sure you're healed up. Oh my goodness! And once your boost is ready, which it seems as though my HUD is a little bit glitched out, I can't see my boost. But once your boost is ready, you will need to boost into Vatherion, otherwise you will have this laser attack just destroy you. I really hope I've got enough here. Do I have a charge? Yes, indeed I do. Oh, here's a good example. With this beam attack, you want to get behind some cover, like these towers here. That's pretty good, just for the duration of the attack here. And then I want to find myself some of those green barnacles. Oh no, donuts, don't do it, don't do it. There it is, nice. And then maybe charging up again. You get a really tight window. If you can see the bottom right on your screen, that should be where the charge boost effect is. It's not showing for me for some reason, but you know what? We're gonna give it a go anyway. Okay, very good. We're gonna try to time this out. Vatherion is very much less bullet spongy here. Bullet spongy, truck spongy, I guess. But we still want some of these things. Our DG2 turret will hopefully shoot him and create those purple beams that we can get here. Maybe if we take over this real quick. Very good. Oh, go donuts. Oh, there's old Tessie down. So then if this happens, Ether Shroud, avoid those missiles, repair old Tessie. And pro tip, before you go back in, replate, because in solo you can't plate while you're driving. So that's always a big tip there. We're going to have to wait for another purple beam. This is easier on co-op because your co-op partners can man the turret and then shoot Vatherion themselves. But let's try it again. Boom, there you go. There you go. Boom, purple beam is out. There is a keybind on PC to go to your previous seat, so I would recommend keybinding that. Let's drive into this purple beam one last time. Very good. Here you are, Vatherion. Let's drive into you. Let's lean out the window and take care of you. Very, very nice. And now lean back in the window so you don't take damage. Very good. Main quest complete in Ashes of the Damned. Very, very nice. And congratulations, you can see this cutscene, and I'll skip it here so you don't get any spoilers, but hey, it's a good one. Now, what's really great about beating this on directed mode is that this will also unlock the ability to search for and equip relics in Cursed. I think that's fantastic. And congratulations, that was a very involved Easter egg, and believe it or not, even if you've done the standard quest, it is useful to do it in directed mode, because if we go into our directed mode solo Ashes of the Damned, we could see right here we've got some rewards. We get this calling card, which is pretty cool. It is just a still of the animated calling card of the regular Ashes of the Damned completion though, but perhaps most importantly, we get a Maya operator skin. And this one's really interesting because she has Mr. Peaks in her backpack, she has the Necrofluid Gauntlet skull in her fanny pack, and she's got a denizen in her satchel. And not like a Ravager, like a straight up denizen from Black Ops 2. Treyarch, you are not beating the Black Ops 2 Remastered allegations. But if you're ready to take the next step into the standard mode of Ashes of the Damned, have no worries. I have a fantastic guide with a fantastic cheat sheet for you to use. It makes those steps almost as easy as directed mode. If you want to see how I walk you through it, be sure to check out this video and stay beautiful.